All right. Sorry I'm late. I had a few issues trying to get on, but we're here. So we're going to get started. This is Bowtie Tuesday, and what we do is it's a show in memory of Joseph, where we just try to talk to people to empower youth and young adults. And we have an exciting guest with us tonight, Jasmine. Her name is Jasmine Poole, and she's with JP Elite Enterprises. Stands for Jesus People Enterprises, and she has a lot going on. She has a really good testimony to share, and she's doing all kinds of things for young people, young adults, kids, basketball. She has a scholarship program. I have a whole list of things that um, she does, but I'm just going to bring her on. So, Jasmine, if you are there, can you send me a request and I'll bring you on? There she is.
Ah,
Hi, Jasmine.
good,
Hi, how are you?
good.
Good to see your face.
Good to see you too.
Good. Thanks for joining us. Sorry I'm late.
It's
Sorry
okay.
I'm late. Okay. All right. Well, there's so much to you. I mean, I was watching some of your videos, and I see some of your posts on Instagram, and you're just doing so much. So I'm just going to start off and just let you tell the people who you are and the story behind your phrase. I'm not going to
Uh,
say the phrase. You can say it, okay? But
right.
yeah.
Well, you introduced me very nice. I mean, thank you so much for having me. That's first. It's a blessing to be able to be in the same space as your, foundation. And as I was, after we spoke on over the phone, I looked into your page and I looked on your website, and I love how much you all do for the community. And it's fantastic. And it's an honor to be here tonight. Um, so a little bit about me. I am an author. I wrote a few books for kids, and I love writing. So, I didn't believe at first that I could ever be an author, but then I just gave it a try. And, here I am now. I have 6 books, and I am so
Yeah.
excited about this next one that's about to come out. It's for African American women. It's called We Rise. And it's so dope. I picked 50 Black women to share their testimonies.
Wow.
It's powerful. I mean, we talk about how Black women have struggled since the beginning of time and have been like the backbone of so many families, to our strengths, from our struggles to our strengths, to our families, to our health, everything. And these women all come together from all over the country, and it's so amazing. Yeah, so that journey's been amazing. And basketball, as you can see, I'm in my gym right now. This is my
Yeah.
fitness center. And I do a lot of training in the community for a lot of people who can't get to gyms, because I'm
Hmm.
in a very rural area, next to a military base. So a lot of times the people who can't get on base, that are not affiliated with the military, they're like on a desert. There's like an island by themselves. They can't get to LA Fitness or Retro or Planet Fitness. So I started my own fitness center, and I train, people in the community. They come on by and I train them. And I do a lot of workouts here in the community every Saturday morning. I do a workout in the park, and everybody's welcome to come through. And it's really great. So it's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. You just put a pencil mark on what you do. I mean, there's so many things that I saw you do. Like you just had the workout on Saturday at the waterfront. But
Yes, yes.
you do that for young people, like for kids to adults, right? So
Yes.
there's no end to the range
No, no,
of the
no,
people that you
no.
help.
It's
Oh,
everybody.
okay.
I just got back in from basketball practice, so I have a program. I'm the head basketball coach at my hometown, Pemberton Township High School, and I'm the
Hmm.
girls' head coach. And I've been coaching third grade all the way up to 11th grade, you know, and it's just beautiful. It's amazing to see. We had 20 girls sign up, and 52 actually showed up. So I'm like, whoa, like I was blown away. Like I was just so honored, just so blessed, you know, and I didn't think that, you know, my program would just like blossom like this so quickly. I just put up a post and 50 girls showed up. So it's just
Well,
amazing.
now, how did you get started in the basketball? Because I know you played in high school, right? You played at
Yeah.
Pemberton. Yeah,
Yes.
so you played in high school. So what did you do from there?
Town. Yeah, from high school basketball, I wasn't a great student like in elementary, and you know, I struggled academically. You know, a lot of people didn't know. I put it in my first book that I was premature. So a lot of things, a lot of my skills and stuff, people said that I wouldn't, like the physicians said to my family that I would never be able to write, walk, talk, live on my own. And I was just, you know, a living, breathing, you know, miracle almost, if you could say, because, you know, to play sports, it was out of the question. Like, no one believed that. So, like, when I started picking up a basketball, because I wasn't doing that good in school, I needed motivation, and sports
Hmm.
became that motivation. And I actually started playing football first, but I
Oh, wow.
wound up I got tackled one time and I quit. I was like, I'm done. I gotta pick something up. So I picked basketball and I fell in love with it, and I just hit the ground running with it, and my grades went crazy great, and I just wound up excelling academically and athletically. So yeah, I
Wow.
played high school ball, I played college basketball, I went to a junior college because I broke my kneecap in half in high school. And after I broke my knee, I was like, you know, distraught. I thought my career was over, but a junior college coach reached out to me and she gave me a full scholarship. And she said, if I go to physical therapy faithfully 3 times a day, plus practice,
Right.
I would be able to keep my scholarship, books, everything included. So thank you to Coach Jones, Carolyn Jones at RCBC College for, you know, putting that much faith in me, you know, a kid from Pemberton, just a little, you know, just a kid from Pemberton, you know, and it changed my life going to junior college because I wasn't ready for college. So it really changed my life going to junior college. And then I went to a small university, St. Elizabeth University. It's a small Catholic college
Mhm.
in New Jersey. And that was amazing too.
And
Yeah.
did you touch the WNBA? I saw it somewhere where it was,
No,
no? Okay.
no WBA. But I did actually play for the WABA, and that just that's a professional women's league here in the country as well. And I played for them for 2 years. And it was absolutely amazing. I played for the New Jersey Expressions for 1 year, and I played for the New
Hmm.
Jersey Sting for 1 year, which was two great experiences playing professionally. I networked a lot. You know, I met a lot of great women through that time. And I just realized, you know, I love coaching more than I do playing now. So it's a nice transition. Yeah.
Yeah. And you teach, okay. So you coach girls,
Yes,
guys. You have
coach
guys
boys.
to help you, right?
Yes, I did
Okay.
coach boys though. My first year coaching, I was the head boys freshman coach, and we went undefeated. Yeah, I
Wow.
had 32 freshman boys. But
Wow.
I stopped coaching boys because most 90% of coaching I found is mentoring. And I realized that a lot of my young men, they did not have father figures at home. And 90% of their teachers and the faculty at the school were women. So it would just suit them better to have a male figure in the coaching position because that just coaching is just a different kind of mentor. It's almost like a love, it's like a tough love type spot. And if you have a female coach yelling and screaming at you, she can't teach you how to be a man. And
Right.
half of that, is teaching them how to be young men. And I thought I was doing them a disservice a little bit because I know the game, but I just didn't know how to teach them how to be young men. So
Well, that's
that's
good.
why
You
I
have
let it.
help.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
help so, and you have a basketball camp. I was reading
yes,
you have a free summer basketball camp.
yes.
Is it free? Okay.
Every
So,
year, yes.
so tell us about that.
So every year I go in my community. So I live by the quote, "Be who you needed" growing up. So I always want to be the person that I needed because I didn't have a role model growing up. I had nobody, So yeah, I have grandma, family, the Lord, but I never had that female figure in the community that was like, "I got you." You know what I mean? Like, "I'll help you." I see you. So I just want to be that person. Like, I see like
Yeah.
little girls in the neighborhood, and I'm like, I'll stop my car and be like, "You keep pushing." Like, I love to see it. Like, I love to see a little girl walking down the court, like walking down the street with a ball. Like, you know what I mean? And I just love that. So I put together a camp in my neighborhood, and every year I give out 200 backpacks, 200, different notebooks, different, all that kind of stuff, and I partner with a lot of different people in the community that love to give back too. And
Okay.
this past year, I had Mr. Softy come through the neighborhood, and I hopped on the truck, and I gave out ice cream to everybody for free. So that was really amazing. I mean, that was probably the highlight of probably one of the best times of my life, honestly. Like, just to see those kids' faces, not just so much the backpacks, but I think they were more hype about the ice cream than backpacks, because a lot of the
Yeah.
kids were learning remote. So yeah, it was great. But with the
That's
camp,
cool.
the basketball camp, I give out backpacks too. So it's cool.
Okay, so when does that start and how does it work? Like you get kids to sign up.
Yeah, usually we start the signups. I post everything on Instagram, right here on my Instagram at jpe.elite, or my website, jpeliteenterprise.com. And the flyer just goes everywhere. And then people can register on Google no Forms. You just
Mm-hmm.
register, and then we go from there. Or you can message me, inbox me, and I put the child's name on the list, and then we get them all set up with a shirt and good to go. And it's free, so just drop them off.
Wow. And it goes all day from like what
All
time?
day. I mean, from like as early as 8 o'clock to about 4 or 5 o'clock. So we're there all day. We're there all day, so it's fun. Yeah.
And you just have other staff working with you to monitor the kids. How many kids
Yeah.
do you have?
I mean, usually at these camps, I can have about 80, 60 to 80. It varies. Yeah.
So you can't. There's no limitation.
No, I don't turn any kids away. I don't turn anybody away. No. That's my weakness.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you got a lot of community support, obviously, to
Oh,
be able
yeah.
to do that. Because I know what it's like trying to, to give to the community and have
Yes.
people join in. So,
Yeah.
okay, so that's now behind this a quote that I've seen a couple of times. You said be the person you needed growing up. You said be the coach you needed growing up. Just the basis of that. Behind that, I know um, there's a story. I know there's always some kind of story that gets somebody motivated to start doing things, especially all the things that you're doing. So, and I was reading about when you were younger and you had the difficulty reading and how you used to hide out. Well, tell us about that because
Yeah.
I want to hear the story behind that. Be the
Wow.
be the person.
Yes. So that's so growing up, I definitely struggled with words. I don't like using the word hate. I really disliked reading, writing, anything like that. And this was before the Instagram and the texting era. So like the 90s babies, we started texting towards like middle school, high school. But in elementary school, there was no phones for us. So we had to read. We were like the last generation to do grammar and spelling tests and all that. And I hated it. So I would raise my hand and sneak out, be like, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom," or "I gotta go get a drink of water." just so that my turn would be skipped because I did not know how to read. I didn't know how to write. I didn't, I'd never really put my mind to it. And a lot of teachers thought I was just a good kid. They were like, Jasmine, she's, she minds her business. She's a likable kid, she's charismatic. So we'll just pass her along. You know what I mean? We'll just pass her along. So they just kept passing me through these grades, and they never took the time to realize, hey, she's leaving every time it's her turn to read. So until one teacher, her name was Miss Johnson, and she said, I got what you're doing. I got the pattern. And she called me into the hallway one day, and she told me, she was like, I know you struggle to read and write. I know that you don't like doing that. You're a really good athlete. So when we go to gym, you're the best one in the class. When we go to, the playground, you're like, running the show. You know what I mean? Telling people what to do. But when we're in class, you're kind of just hiding and, putting your head down and stuff. So what is that? So she started tutoring me after school, and she started inviting me to Vacation Bible School and taking me to church and taking me, because I lived in a family, like my dad's a minister, my uncle's a minister, my mom, you know what I mean? Like we're, family that's faith-based, Christ is number one in my life. But Miss Johnson took the time out to not just drill me with the Bible, but just put faith in me and just see, she saw something more in me than a lot of people did. So that was the blessing. And I thank Miss Johnson. And I actually, a lot of teachers didn't even think I would finish high school. A lot of people didn't think I would go past playing basketball. They thought that's all I was. So it's just God's grace that I'm here right now and doing what I'm doing, because I never would have thought, teachers don't even believe it. When they see me and I'm a teacher now, they're like, huh? Like, you?
How did that happen?
Oh, man. But yeah, Miss Johnson was the first person to really put faith in me, and tell me that. And it was one professor, her name is Professor Lynn, and at my college, and she was the first person to hear my story, and she told me that I should write a book. And I started writing my first book when I was in college, but I didn't finish it till I graduated, till after graduating college. But it was Lynn. It was Professor Lynn who put that faith in me too. So two women that, I'm not related to, saw past basketball and sports and, my funny jokes and stuff. And it was like, So,
something's going on there. Okay.
Yeah, something's going on. Yeah.
So since you've been through that, and it should be easy for you to recognize somebody that's dealing with something like that. So do you come across kids like that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I find it like, a lot of kids, especially young girls now, they tend to use texting. A lot of kids text, so they don't know how to really write. They'll put literally you, letter for you, or like they don't know how to spell. They don't know how to, really articulate how they feel, or comprehend certain stories, or, formulate ideas. They don't get it, because they're always subjected to Instagram or fast results, these microwave results. So I do find it very often that a lot of kids, they don't know, how to truly, express themselves and, formulate their words and stuff. And it's pretty sad. That's why I started my mentor group for girls in Africa and, in the States. So we just had our first Young Rising Queens is our girls mentor program, and Princes to Kings is our men's program. So I have phenomenal directors of those programs. So I'm not like the face of it, I'm kind of branching out, and I'm so blessed to have people helping me, Miss Adu, she's in Africa, and she's our director in Nigeria for all our young ladies over there. And
Wow.
The director in the States, her name is Mello, and she's in Philadelphia, and she's the director out here. And the boys program, Princess to Kings, they're showing young men how to, how to be men, and how to, have pride and love
Yeah.
themselves,
Yeah.
not be afraid to be emotional. Like, because a lot of young Black men especially feel subjected to just being like, yeah, like I'm tough. So my director, they're awesome. Like Ashton Austin, he's amazing. He's our director, and Vince is an amazing staff member as well. So those two programs have flourished. We had so many people online this weekend, and girls from Nigeria and America and London and France, and I'm just so blessed. Like, they're like, whose programming is this? And I'm just like, Lord, because I'm blown away. Like, I'm not even, on that level. I didn't even know that I was, that people from Nigeria even knew about me. So I'm just blessed. I'm just so thankful.
That's an amazing thing with the Nigerian. Do you do by Zoom? How do you handle
Zoom,
that?
just like
Okay.
this. So we go on Zoom, and we have a guest speaker, and we talk about current events. And 3 times a year, we take a trip. So the young ladies in the States, we take them on a trip, 3 trips a year. And then the young ladies in Nigeria, they go on
Awesome.
3 trips. Yeah. So, and the young men too, they do the same thing. So yeah. Uh-huh.
So you got the mentorship, you got the basketball, you're an author of almost 7 books, right?
Almost 7,
You have
yeah.
you got 4 children's books. The
Yeah.
Go Play, the
Mhm.
Your Body is Your Temple, uh,
Yes.
Bridging Black and Blue, and I
Yes.
Am Enough. Tell us about
Yeah.
those books. Because one of the books, the I Am Enough, that deals with self-esteem and bullying
Yeah.
and things like that, which is so needed. So tell us about your books.
Yeah, so the children's books were inspired. I was at an event, and I bought these children's books because when I go to vending events, I buy some from each table. So, like, I was at this table, and this young woman had children's books, and I was like, wow, like, I was so fascinated by, how the colors and drew me to the table. I was like, man, I wish I could have a children's book. You know what I mean? Especially because as a kid, I didn't know how to read till I was like almost 12, because the chapter books would scare me away. They would intimidate me in such a way that if I would have had children's books with kids that were African American who looked like me, I would have probably opened those books more,
Right.
and
Yeah.
wow, like, maybe I should make a children's book with people with characters that look like us. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
are diverse. Asian, African American, Indian, like all these different religions and races. Just beautiful, like how we really are. So anyway, I made these children's books, and I'm Enough is a book about anti-bullying, and it encourages kids to love
Mhm.
themselves, who they truly are. Like, whoever you are, like, to love who you are, like, truly. Because some people say, I love who I am, but they only
Mhm.
love themselves, certain stuff about themselves.
Yeah.
But loving
Yeah.
even your ugliness, like even the worst part about you,
Yeah.
accepting that, and teaching kids until they love themselves, they can't do anything else to the highest, like they really can't. So I'm Enough is just encouraging kids to love themselves and parents. And
Mhm.
Go Play is like all like about my childhood, because I was a big athlete, wanted to go outside every day. I lived outside. So
And kids
it
don't
just,
go outside.
yeah, kids don't go outside no more. Kids be in the house, they be on the game. So yeah, like I'm like, put the stuff down and go out and play for a little bit. So
Mhm.
that book is so amazing. And the kids love the fact that I'm a big like ice cream person, and one of my dreams as a kid was to own an ice cream truck. So I think that's why like they love the fact they whenever I go through the neighborhood now, they say, "Yeah, there go the ice cream lady." Like now, like my name is Coach Jazz. They think I'm like Mr. Softy's like friend or something because I was on the truck. but then go
Yeah.
play like, you know, she's on top of the ice cream truck, so the kids like, you know, think that's me or something. I don't know. And Go Play is amazing. That teaches kids, you know, healthy living. And Bridging Black and Blue
Mm-hmm.
is like teaching young men how, like young African American men and men of color, about the things that's been going on in our world, in our country, especially with the police brutality and from, you know, from Emmett Till all the way to now, you know, George Floyd, like everybody, like, you know, Trayvon Martin. So all
Yeah.
these events
Yes.
that's just been happening, and it's just so habitual that it's like to a point now where I don't want our kids to think that this is the norm, like this is
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Bridging Black and Blue is teaching them about their rights. It has all of the amendments, all 27 of them, and it's teaching them about, you know, how to vote, the importance of voting, the importance of understanding, you know, the different levels of government, and also, you know, understanding what race, like racism truly is, and you
Yeah.
know, race profiling truly is, and understanding that it's not ever going to be fair, but
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to lose your life, right? So just having that conversation, and then teaching, you know, every child, you know, even white children should be able to read this book and see like, oh, it's
Yeah.
not fair. You know what I mean? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I should be a police officer one day that is fair, that does
Mm-hmm.
treat people equally. And the last book,
Yeah.
Your Body is Your Temple, is just teaching young girls to love themselves. And
Yeah.
it talks about getting your menstrual cycle, and a lot of girls get afraid of that. And it's like a shh, you know. So that
Taboo.
book talks about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that book talks about that in a way that it's not so like, oh, you got that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but just more of an
Yeah.
open
They don't
discussion.
feel the shame, right?
Right, right. So all
Mm-hmm.
the books have different topics, but hopefully, you know, the kids enjoy them. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get the books so I can read them myself
Oh, thank you.
and pass them on to, you know, to other kids. But you got so
Thank
many programs. The I was watching one of your videos. You had a women's event, a women's empowerment. I think it
you.
was your first one.
The first one, yes.
Okay. And
Yep.
you had some sharing going on, you had some dancing, you had some eating, you had
Yes.
young people, old people, just a whole
Yep.
lot of women. So tell us
A
about
lot of
that.
them.
That's just
Well, my women's empowerment event that happened in 2019, before the COVID, because we were gonna have one last year,
okay.
but COVID,
Okay.
you guys.
Hmm.
So we were planning one for next year. So we skipped 2 years because we want everybody to be vaccinated and kind of semi-normal. But the
Hmm.
women's empowerment event was an event filled with female business owners and tons of vendors that own their own businesses, all women, and the event was the weekend of Mother's Day. No women were allowed to lift a finger. I mean, from food to chairs to doors, like chivalry was out the roof. Like we had the boys football team volunteer to be
Oh,
the wait.
really?
Yes, so it was beautiful. An all white and champagne event. I love, you know, those colors, and we had live performances from dancers. My friend Nadia, shout outs to Bang Studios. She was there. She danced. It was phenomenal. To Saray, one of my students, she did poetry and she sang. And Damaris King, one of my teammates from college, she played the saxophone. It was beautiful.
Wow.
So, and we gave out awards to the oldest mother, the mother with the most kids, the youngest mother. We gave awards out to each one. We had like a little fun games and stuff. And we ended the evening with our guest panelist who spoke about mind, body, and soul of a queen. And
Hmm.
they answered a few questions from the audience, and they discussed how women need to take care of their body, their mind, and their spirit, you know, so that they can be queens, you know, they can be the best selves they can be. So it was amazing. We had over 100 women show up, and I didn't even expect it. I mean, the tickets were $5, and it was in a small
Wow.
room. I didn't expect it. I had like 10 crackers left at the end. I was like, Lord. But it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I love events like that. I love events about, empowering women. Like the church, my church does on the Grand Christian Fellowship. We do a women's tea every year.
Okay.
And ours was May 1st, actually. Um, Yeah,
Okay.
but we do a women's tea every year, and it's free. We didn't charge anything, but just to see the women come in and share with each other, it's just an amazing thing. The fellowship, so that really, when I saw that, I said, wow, it just touched me right where I was. It's an
Thank you.
amazing thing. Just, we need more of that. We need to
We
empower
do.
each other,
We do.
because, we just need to get it together to do things for
Yes.
women. And
Absolutely.
and just the fact that I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, that you're so young.
Oh,
I'm,
thank you.
I was going to ask you how old you were, but I already figured it out.
No, it's okay. I'm 20. I'm 26. I'm 26. Yes.
26. See, I know it's 26. Yeah, so she's doing all these things, and she didn't even reach 30 yet. And you got all these programs going in international Nigeria, the mentorship program with the kids and the young adults and the teenagers, the basketball for the girls and the boys, the community fitness workouts, um,
Thank
the outreach in the community, you're feeding, you even do
you.
homeless feeding, right?
Yes.
When
Yes.
does that take place?
Every holiday we do massive feedings where we feed, anywhere between families and individual homeless people, families in need. We do between 50 to 70 baskets for families, and then we feed people every holiday: Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and yeah, and we do for Thanksgiving, we do like a humongous, I mean, we're feeding people from the Monday before Thanksgiving all the way up. But every Wednesday and Friday between 12 and 2, we feed with the Christian Caring Center in Browns Mills and in our
Okay.
community, and we
Yes.
partner with them. Yeah, and we feed a lot of people in the community, and it's pretty touching. It's one of the most humbling moments I think of my entire day or week, because like when you're feeding someone without food, without something that everybody should be entitled to, no matter who you are, that's a very humbling moment. And I've fed people, I've given clothes and helped people, not just clothes, but feeding people is something different because you need food to live.
Yeah.
You can have the
Yeah.
same t-shirt and still survive. But I fed people in the past, that I'll never forget, like teammates from the past, classmates, and it does something to you, and I like to, my grandmother, she is my best friend and she's always praying for me. And she says I should probably like be more like my friends and kind of hang out and just chill and enjoy my 20s. But, I I tell her, after seeing people like that, less fortunate, I just got to keep pressing forward because the goal of JP Elite is to get a community center where everything can be under one roof. So we're not over here and making food over there and doing a
Right.
camp over there.
Right.
So that's my prayer, So, whoever, hears this video or, wants to know more about JP Elite, that's the goal. That's the vision that God has put on my heart to get a community center and help masses of people. So that is the goal.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. You- I was just listening to something you just said about what your grandmother said, that you should be like other young people, hang out. But the
Yeah.
first thing that
Uh,
crossed my mind was, when would you have time to do that? Because you're doing so much. When would you
right.
have time to do that, to hang out, to actually hang out? Because you go to school too, right? You're in school.
I'm in school right now, so I'm getting my master's degree in community development and public administration. So I am constantly busy. My degree is actually in public policy, public administration, but I'm really
Hmm.
trying to branch out and get another one in community development. So, but I don't have that much time to relax, but I think it's worth it though, because like just seeing those kids' faces, when they come up to me and they're just like, I'm who they needed. Like I'm who I needed, like when
Yeah,
I was them. So
yeah.
that's what makes it worth it. That's my vacation. For right now, like that's my vacation. So all I can keep thinking about before I go to sleep at night is just cutting that ribbon with my grandma and with all those kids and families behind me to open my community center. So that's better than any vacation or any Instagram posts or anything like that. So I don't care. I'll wait.
That's your vision, and I believe that it's
Yeah.
going to come to pass. All the things that you're doing, and God is at the center, because I've seen that already. And
Yeah.
you're also in church, and I read that you dance as well. so, so you
So
share
that.
church. And I told you I was looking you up. I was
Oh
doing my
wow,
history.
you really this like FBI, like you really
Yes, yes.
on it.
I was doing my
Yeah,
research. So yeah. So tell us about that and your work in the church, and gotta cover all the areas. There's so many
yes,
facets to you. So just gotta cover
I do.
every area.
I praise dance well, my church is Second Baptist in Mount Holly. Hey, shout outs to Pastor Hutton and First Lady Miss Dawn. And Bishop Chicochi, all of y'all. I mean, it's a blessing being a part of that family, and they always support me. And from my Aunt Thelma to Josh Major, one of my dance partners, to Alexis, my other dance partner, we are always practicing, and it's usually intense. And we've been praise dancing since me and Josh have been praise dancing since 10th grade, and it started at our youth center before it got shut down, before they closed it. But we were doing like a praise dance to Marvin Sapp, Best in Me. And that
Okay.
song still to this day, whenever I hear it, I'm like, man, like I know that song from like my eyes closed, I can do that dance. But I used to praise dance as a little girl with my mom and my sister at my church on bass. And that's kind of where the seed was planted, but I didn't take it serious then. But I've been praise dancing, here and there, not as much anymore. I kind of, let the younger people do it
Okay.
because
Mhm.
I don't want to break nothing or hurt. I'm getting older now. I don't be jumping around, pull my back out. So, but I do sometimes, I just let the Lord lead. If I feel it in my spirit to, put together a dance, then I do.
Praise the
Yeah.
Lord. It's just been such a pleasure to talk to, um, and just to read about. I want everybody to, give them your website so they can go and check you out. That they can go and look at the books and the
Yeah.
YouTube videos. Just give them all the information so that they'll have it and I know where to contact you. You
Okay.
can do it.
All right. You could
Mhm.
go and my Instagram is jpe.elite. jpe.elite. And my website is www.jpeliteenterprise.com. So if you inbox me on any of those or message me, you can buy my books on my website or on Amazon. In a few weeks, they'll be available on Amazon. And yeah, the women's empowerment book is about to drop very soon. So please,
Okay.
please, please, I want everybody to support it. I think this is the best work that God's ever put in my heart. Like the women's empowerment book is the greatest, piece of work that I've ever done. So when you see it, I pray that y'all think the same thing and support it. And the children's books as well too. Thank you so much for having me again. I mean, it was an honor. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for joining us. And one last thing, if you were to give advice to somebody that might be listening or might listen later, to a younger person, um, what would you tell them about uh, what you live by? Be the person that you needed to be. You needed somebody to be. What would you tell them about that?
Being the person that you needed growing up, first think about what your childhood was like. Reflect on that for a moment and reflect on whether it was good or it was bad, or some people don't even want to relive it because it was that bad, you know. And truly let that sink in, because it's not just a saying, it's not just a quote, but being the person you needed, whether it was when you were growing up or now, you know, can change someone's entire life. Some
Yeah,
people who are on the verge of committing suicide, you being that person for them might change them. They might live because you gave them hope. It's that powerful. And it can be from a little child that's getting bullied in school to a woman who can't even look at herself in the mirror because she's so ashamed of her body. You just taking the time out to be a person, a positive person, because there's so much negativity and fake positivity on here. There's so much fake love. You
yes,
know what I mean? You can't get stuck. Like, look at how society is trying to transform our thought process. They want us to believe that following someone is good. We shouldn't be following really anybody but God. So stop worrying about followers. Stop worrying about following people, and follow Christ, and just be that person, and just be that
yeah,
person for yourself, and just follow Christ. And all I can really say is, you don't know anybody's story. So just chill. You know what I mean? Show love. Because a lot of people, they like, she just got a stank attitude. But what if when she goes home, she's getting beat on or
yeah,
molested? You know what I
yeah.
mean? You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, just show love, show genuine love. Because, like, life is very short. And I don't know if everybody on here is a believer or not, and I'm not trying to push nobody into belief, but all I can say is that time is winding up, and God loves you, and you are loved. You know what I mean? Regardless of who you are, what you believe in, Jesus loves you, and hell, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know you, and just be the person, just be that positive light, because some people never. You might be the only positivity some people ever
Let's
get.
see.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
to a
but
young person, what would you tell them just to encourage them to keep going?
trust God. Trust God. And don't beat yourself up if you're not like everybody else. Don't beat yourself up if when you come around people start acting funny. Because
Yeah,
not everybody's meant to fit in. Not everybody's meant to just be in that box. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So don't
Some people
worry
are meant
about
to
it.
stand out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. You were
Thank
a
you.
pleasure, and
Thank you
I'm
so
going to
much.
continue to follow you and see where you're going, because I know that you're going to get that building, and
Yes.
hopefully we'll be able to see it and get there. Because you're right in Jersey. We're in Jersey too, so in Columbus, so we're not too far. But
Yes.
hopefully we'll be able to get there. And maybe one day, don't hold me to it though. I'll come to your workout.
Yay! I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Okay. All right. But thanks again. Thanks again.
Well,
Thanks again.
you're welcome.
Appreciate you. All right. You take care.
All right. God bless y'all. Peace.
All right. Bye. Okay. That was Jasmine Poole. I thank everyone for joining us. Jasmine, I encourage you to follow her. She really encouraged my heart. She's doing a lot of things, and she's worthy of the support. So if you can, go to her website and give us some support. Buy a book or just send her a contribution. She's trying to get the building that she needs to do all these services, so they don't have to be spread out all over. So we'll help her get there. Amen. And thank you again. Join us in another 2 weeks for another episode of Bowtie Tuesday. And also be looking out for our auction. We have an auction coming up with some really good prizes. So look for that. That will be starting in June. And we'll see you then. Okay. Thanks again and have a good night.
For the days that I wanted to die, I beg of you, before I am 10 feet beneath the soil, before the maggots hug my flesh into a shivering carcass, speak of me as I am. I pray that you would tell them that I died a proud man, that I was one who never spoke unless it improved upon sight. Tell them that I never moved unless it improved upon stillness. This here was no walk in the park. That life felt like a cigarette break during a one-night stand. There were mornings where I wanted to staple my eyelids shut because the sunrise was a horror film. I never wanted to wake up and tell them I wasn't perfect. Tell them I was one who loved not wisely, but far too well. Tell them I kept it real. Tell them I kept it funky. Tell them I kept it 100. Tell them I kept it G'd up from my feet up, that I was real rap raw in the flesh, that I rah like a dungeon dragon, that I regurgitated behind bars, like rhyming is the fight in me. Devil try to lie to me. Dances in my brain, click boom, that's the bottom of me. Poetry is pottery, my homies on the side of me, saving lives, being kings, loving all the God in me. Tell them. Jesus. Tell them I wanted the Lord in this microphone and I loved them. Tell them I loved them fiercely. Tell them that every time I open my voice box I reveal the truth. Tell them that I was a monument. Tell them that I'm in scripture. Tell them I moved mountains. Tell them that I talk to God. Tell them before I'm 10 feet beneath the soil, before the maggots hug my flesh into a shivering carcass, you tell them that Joseph Fennell was human.